Hi guys, welcome back. Let's look at Pool B, and Pool B is where the big boys play. The All Blacks and the Springboks in this group together, and the other three are going to be pretty worried about that. First of all though, let's have a quick look at the results of some of the teams I haven't covered in my previous videos. Namibia in their warm-ups, they managed to get a close win against Uruguay. Canada, well, they lost all four. I'm not sure Canada are quite what they were. They're a decent team, but they're not quite on that upwards trajectory that they might have been in the past. And double loss to USA, their rivals, pretty painful. Italy got that huge win against Russia, crushing win against Russia, but then they still struggle against that next quality of team, and that is going to be their issue. Their record in the Six Nations isn't great, and I just don't know if they're going to have enough to beat those big teams. Next, let's have a little look at the draw, see which matches are where are these big games. Okay, straight away we open with the biggest game of the pool, which is pretty cool. It's a great opening. New Zealand versus South Africa. In all intents and purposes, I think this will decide who wins the group and who comes second, but you never know. There are some 4-day turnarounds in Pool B, but they all seem to be quite manageable 4-day turnarounds. Even Italy, I think, might be able to cope with that 4-day turnaround. You know, between Namibia and Canada, it's the best of their options rather than having New Zealand or South Africa in there. And New Zealand's turnovers they can cope with. Like I mentioned before in the previous video, the big teams don't often get lumped with 4-day turnarounds that involve 2 big games. Is it right? Let me know. I don't know. Now, there's a big game right at the end, actually, I think. Namibia Canada. This is the one that both sides there will be targeting. If there's any bodies left standing by then, that's their World Cup final. Now I'm going to have a look at form in previous World Cups and also set some targets for this World Cup. As I mentioned in the last video, my targets are kind of like minimum targets, those boring targets that the suits in the boardroom are going to set that we never hear about because they don't sound cool on camera, but after the event they'll assess the situation and say, yes, you achieved what you expected to achieve. Obviously, a lot of these sides are looking to do better than these targets, but I think these are the hidden targets that don't get said, in my opinion. Okay, first of all, New Zealand. Obviously, they won the first World Cup, and then they had a few years, well, a lot of years of underachieving. And that's well and truly over with their wins in 2011 and 15. So, the three-peat is on, as they call it, for sure. And for me, New Zealand are the only team where I'm setting a minimum target of winning or nothing. They've got that history. They've won the last 2. They've been the best side in the world for a long time. I still think they are, by the way. So I'm setting the minimum target of win. We know Hansen's going anyway, but yeah, win or bust for the All Blacks. On to South Africa. Now I'm only displaying what I believe is the modern professional era in this table, but of course they won in 95 famously. Then there were 2 tournaments where they didn't win, then they won, then 2 tournaments when they didn't, so maybe that means they win. I don't know. But target-wise, well, they're a very young team. They've only been together for a few years, really. So I think final is the acceptable target there. Sure, they can win it, but I think if they got to a final in the cold light of day, a couple of months down the road, I think they would be happy with that. Okay, Italy, Namibia and Canada, as we can see, have never got out of their pool. However, Italy have got a few wins to their belt. In fact, in the last 4 World Cups, they've won 2 games in every pool. So they've done pretty well, to be honest. It's unlikely they're going to go one better. And I think beating New Zealand or South Africa, I really can't see it. But definitely the same target of winning 2 games again is their minimum target for sure. Namibia, now, well, they came bottom in 99, 0 points. Same in 2003, 2007 and 2011. They did get a bonus point in 2015, so that's their first point. So their target to make history is to win their first game. Okay, beat Canada. They are capable of doing it. If you take world rankings as any sort of indicator, they're very close, 22nd and 23rd. So that's their target, win their first game in the modern era in the World Cup. On to Canada. In 99 they did get a win, beating Namibia actually. They got a win in 2003, a draw in 2007, beat Tonga again. in 2011, they beat them in 2003, but they didn't win any last time round. So once again, for them, their target is beat Namibia, get that one win. I really don't think they'll be getting close to the other teams. Finally, prediction time. Well, I really do see New Zealand and South Africa absolutely running away with this pool at a canter. I don't see the other three sides getting anywhere near them. So I've said New Zealand are my favourites in previous videos, so I'm going to go for them to top the pool. South Africa are a very strong second. Italy, I think, are by far the best team out of Canada and Namibia and Italy. So they come third. And I think Canada are going to get that win against Namibia and come fourth with Namibia fifth. Okay, guys, that's my roundup of Pool B. Let me know what you think. And until next time, I will see you then.